today's show. I'm getting ready for a 2-week break over Christmas. Ian Waterfall is polishing the next 2 episodes. Not that we've pre-recorded them already.
Never.
Pogo Milo UK is probably going to moan about another ticketed event. And Masterful 27 may hit level 50 on Pokemon Go Live. Welcome in everyone for another episode of Incensed Podcast. 97. Don't cut that out. Cut that out.
That's not coming. No.
We can time travel.
Nope.
97 week. Oh, do you not leave it? I've messed it up. How is everyone? How are you all?
We should expect nothing less with the casual in the driving seat, but it's good to have you back.
Absolutely not. So festive. Can you believe it's Christmas next week?
I know.
No, because we haven't recorded that
I'll
show
wait
at
for Milo
all.
to go, yes. Definitely not pre-recorded it in
totally
September.
not ready to
I should ask. Yeah, Milo, it's your show notes next week, isn't it?
go. Yes, you guys got them in September.
We say how much we love each other, and we do, but we're all grateful getting 2 weeks away from each other. I love that. It's
No,
like,
we're not getting 2 weeks away from each other. Christmas,
Yeah.
we're spending Christmas
We're
together.
literally recording on Christmas Day.
that is our commitment.
And New Year's Day.
New Year's Day.
Yes.
It's really fallen into our lap, innit? Because you are right. Our episodes do genuinely drop on the 25th and
Yep.
then the 1st
Seriously,
as well.
Christmas Day, New Year's Day.
Marky, I want to know, are you feeling a little bit nervous to be the big 5-0 today, mate?
It's a big birthday.
Yeah, it's a big birthday, isn't it? Yeah, I know you gits think I've already done it in real time, hit 50. No, I haven't.
Oh, Dolly.
Yeah, I'm nervous.
I will say, Marky, I'm looking forward to that. I know you'll be hitting it very, very, very soon. And I actually...
And you'll be
mate,
getting
if you
level
don't mind,
50
I might
soon
have
as well.
But I might have a little surprise for you as well, mate. But to everybody joining us for this lovely celebration of our 79th episode tonight, please do, while you're listening, drop down that incense.
Pop your incenses, champions. Let's go.
I'll be honest, I think for tonight, you only need the one, because I think it's going to be a bit of a short show tonight.
Stop
you
doing
won't need
yourself
the,
down, dude.
You won't need the daily one. I know.
It doesn't matter how long we record for, we can still make this show as long as we want it.
Coops, we've believed in you for the last 78 episodes, right? So don't worry, we've got you tonight.
I'm never going to live that down, am I? Ever.
Never gonna live you up.
Actually, with the amount of absentees, Coops probably is on episode 79.
Fair point.
Actually, yeah, Coops is.
Right, where was me? And as always, do not forget to tag us on, well, preferably Twitter and, of course, any of our socials. And that's just going to be at Incense Podcast. And do not forget to hashtag Shinies of the Week. And, of course, do not spell it wrong. You winded me up.
That's the point of the soundboard.
But yeah, tag us on Twitter. Let us know if you do manage to get anything amazing. Boys, let's jump straight in.
And now, children, it's time for Getting to Know You with the Incensed Podcast.
Now, I would like to share an interesting fact, because I'm a very honest guy. You lot know this about me. And I would like to share that this isn't actually my question.
No way.
Yeah, right?
Last time it wasn't your question either.
It was
It's not
Justin's.
either. Oh, yeah.
How long has it been since Coops actually did his own question?
He's got a form, hasn't he?
Probably 67.
Episode 78.
episodes.
Who doesn't love a donut?
But, gentlemen, this was done by the missus. And your question for tonight is, in another life, if you were a dog, which breed would you be and why?
It's probably my favourite outsourced question we've had so far, Coops, if I'm honest with you.
Now you're taking the mic. Now you're taking the
Had so
mic.
many.
You know, there's no creativity. It's like a 5-word question, isn't it? It's like, what is your favourite? It's like,
Yeah.
for me, it didn't take a lot of thought. It's a breed of dog that we actually had, and I saw a lot of similar mannerisms to myself. It's tall, a bit like myself, I should say. Very good in rural situations.
So it's not about Ian, is it?
Teacup Yorkie.
Teacup Yorkie, and it looks very like a shiny furfrou. Its mannerisms are it's a very optimistic breed of dog, devoted, friendly and outgoing. But the breed of dog that I have picked is a flat coat retriever. Beautiful mannerisms, energetic, exciting, just love being involved. Lovely dogs.
Beautiful, just like you.
It is a good question.
I'd be a hound dog because I just love Pokemon Go so much.
Don't like Johto, mate. Give me a rock
I'd be a
ruff
rock
instead. Hey, there you go.
I'm dead.
To be fair, it's been out in a cold day, it'd be a shiny one.
Yeah, very blue.
Yeah.
Little blue balls.
Since we've got it, possibly, yes. Since we've got to pick a real dog, me and my family have had Jack Russells for donkey's years. I just love the breed, and no matter how like bonkers or berserk or whatever they could be, but one of my parents' dogs is very similar to me in mannerisms. He's extremely chilled and relaxed.
I thought he was going to say Billy.
Edits podcasts. No, I'd be a Jack Russell Terrier, I think. You'd just be a lunatic if you fancy it or not. And incredibly difficult dog to train. So that's definitely like me.
That's definitely you, Milo.
Sure.
He's
It's
wild.
much easier if we went with
train a
Pokemon
club.
dogs, seriously.
I could see your frown, like thinking this is going to make no sense, but I'm going to say it anyway. You
You know when you've got a
what it
sentence
was.
forming in your brain and you're just like, that's really stupid. Don't say it.
But here goes.
Here goes nothing.
Here we go.
And Mr. Waterfall, what about yourself?
You can't be a great watch shark.
The dog I would be is, unlike me, very adorable. It has the same colour hair that I do. It's got like greyish hair, and it is full of energy. I would be a Siberian Husky. So much energy.
That's cool.
I just don't like the cold. Other than that, yes, full of energy, make a lot of noise, and they're just the most adorable dogs on earth. If I actually had a dog, that's the one I would actually get. How about you, Coops?
Well, the good thing is, Ian, is that retirement for you will begin soon, so you'll be able to...
Really? I've got to wait another 30 years.
Before I met my partner, I wasn't really a kind of dog lover, but she had this beautiful little dog, which I obviously now adore to death. It's humongous, it's absolutely massive, big, fat and ginger, just like me.
We're talking about dog now.
It's not funny because I said just like me. I got that in there before you
Fair,
said
okay.
that. Absolutely loves a nap like me. It absolutely is so energetic, so friendly, so needy. As a side note, it does like a lot of humping, likes to hump your leg. So. The breed that I'm picking would be a boxer.
Well, they dribble a lot as
Okay.
well and drool, don't they? So that's a bit like you as well.
Does that anyway.
You were too quick with that. You are violating.
Sorry to say the obvious, boys, but did anyone think he was going to go down the route of Irish Terrier? Because they're fiery and red and have a bit of a temperament.
I thought
But he
Coops would
went-
be the
he went
West
down
Highland
Just
Terrier,
finding
actually.
dogs that are ginger.
I've already got the ginger thing out of the way. Can we move on? Yeah. What's next? Red Fox Lab. What's next?
It looks like him, doesn't it?
It does look like him, actually. Looks like a young Casual Coops.
Yeah.
You're cute.
When he started this show,
Mark, I do just want to reply back to that. I know there's something dangling just above your head. I don't know if that's a pole calling your name, but like I said, we're gonna figure that out later tonight, aren't we? While Mark's sorting out his pole, it's now over to Pogo Milo UK.
It is. It's the news.
which isn't fresh or current. So, the Winter Holidays Part 1 event will have already been out for 3 whole days. It's not really the news, we're just going to have a chat about the event that for us only began today. The big sort of holidays, Christmas-themed event. We've seen it split into 2 parts. This is the first of those parts with the release boys of Shiny Bergmite. Couple of costume shinies are back. We know that Coops loves a costume on. But it also comes fresh with a new add-on paid ticket, which was basically the centre of last week's show. We've got a lot to talk about. In terms of the spawns, I'm perfectly happy with them. Have you guys been able to, have a little look into the game?
I've played a little bit of it, and you know what? For Coops and Mark, the mons that they're chasing are there. You've got an abundance of Delibird and Cubchoo.
Cubchoo.
You've got the... You've got the Snowroo, Spheal, there's the little wintry Pikachu, Cryonigal spawning. I mean, literally it's everything that we could want. Plus, as we predicted back in November, the map has a Christmassy theme.
Yes.
Indeed.
Yes.
Which looks amazing, especially at night when you get the little lights on the Christmas trees and just the little detail. It's so amazing, seriously.
If you get a shiny Kabalion as well from a raid, it all lights up with the Christmas lights as
Yeah.
well, obviously depending on the
It's
time
got
of day.
Christmas lights on the trees behind. It's such a nice little update.
It's funny you say that though, Ian, because you've kind of led me straight in. And I know I said this about the Halloween event, so I don't want to sound too parroty, I'm repeating myself. But even though you say we we wouldn't want any more. It does personally for me feel a bit samey, and I wasn't even really playing this time last year. The Sveal with the scarf, the cub, it just feels, it's like every winter we're sort of getting to the point now, the snow runs, and it's just like,
Well, there's only so many wintry Pokemon that they can put out there.
what, one still to come out though? Could they not, is there not another ice one left, or are they all is it just Sveal? Is that what we've got?
One big change is that Cubchoo doesn't have the bow on its head this year.
Well, not yet,
Not
at
at
least.
Delibird.
Maybe in part 2.
Yeah, part 2. That might be the, yeah.
You watch,
part
and
two.
part 2 will be Sveal without the scarf. Watch this space. Watch this space. We're calling it. Obviously, Marky, you've obviously played, haven't you? Because you've been trying to get to 5-0.
Hawaii?
Hawaii. I'm precariously close to level 50, so I actually haven't been playing it too much. I've been doing shiny checks, but obviously can't catch anything. I've tried to, unless it shines, and just don't want to take that risk of getting those little bits of XP. But no, it's a great event. Bergmite shiny looks amazing. I think that's always important. A wild new shiny. Lovely to see some of the, well, I say new, they've come out again. Glaceon with the costume. It was in raids before. It's raids again for this one, isn't it? Glaceon with the costume. Or in research tasks. It's in research tasks as well.
But the research task is win a raid.
Oh, right, there we go.
So they've raid locked it.
Yeah. But then, like you say, there's a hunt there for Cubchoo. I just want to get one.
Just the one.
I'm going to ask this, and I feel like, Milo, you are going to say yes. I haven't, straight away, I haven't. Who has, for this event, bought the ticket here? I can't remember what it's called, but who's bought the ticket? And if they've completed it already, is it worth it like the Keldeo was not?
I have the ticket. I believe Milo had the ticket also.
He finished it in an hour, didn't he?
I've done it. I've done it today.
Okay, talk to us.
All right. Well, I've got a couple of points of view and theory behind this. So when it was announced, and it's kind of the first thing that was on the article to do with the events, there's a paid ticket. It was, what, $4.99, $5.99 or something. I think it was
What was that, $800?
$800.
$4.49 is the ticket. £4.49.
I sort of looked at it and I was like, I will buy it, even if someone gifted it to me, so they got there before I could. I personally think it is, if you like poses, to change up or whatever, it's worth it, 100%.
CeeCeeismad Coop should buy it then.
Coop should buy it, definitely, yes.
How long have I got?
2 weeks.
I think the big problem with this, and we talked a lot about it with the Keldeo ticket, is the moment you switch the actual currency with Pokecoins, everyone throws their arms up in the air and throws a hissy fit. Yeah. In reality, this is actually better value. If you were going to buy a pose in the shop, it's 500 coins flat out, which is basically £5 anyway.
Near enough. It's a little bit cheaper, isn't it? Because it's 79p.
But then you get some items, incense, incubators, and some Pokemon included in it. It's worth the money if you're interested in that sort of thing. But the key thing, and this is where it differs from the Keldeo, it doesn't detract from the event at all. All of the event shinies, the raids, everything is available to everybody who can participate and doesn't want to pay a little bit of extra to get this exclusive. It's like a gift toss pose thing with a few items. And I think that's the right way to go about it, as we talked about
Take it as a stationary pose. It's not an animated pose, is it?
It is. It's an animated pose.
Animated pose. Okay.
It's a nice animated pose, and it's just sort of puts the gift to its chest and then throws it over its shoulder and catches it.
Oh, that's cute.
But it's like they're add-ons. It's a little bit extra, and if you pay a little bit extra, you'll have this exclusive pose, which is kind of cool. And that's how games like Fortnite make a fortune with skins and all this kind of stuff. It's exactly the same practice. But the key thing is they're not, for example, Keldeo, that was a flat-out paywall. If you didn't buy the ticket, you didn't get the mythical.
But you will get it in the future, which we talked about last week.
You will get it in the future, but you've got to wait. Yeah. There's nothing Pokemon-wise, apart from 1 or 2 encounters with like a Delibird and a Cubchoo and some other stuff.
Delibird, I'm buying it.
That one Delibird encounter is enough. And
right.
Coops will be happy because you can get 1 Sveal and 1 Stantler without their costumes.
Oh, God. Oof. Was that a mistake, though?
It probably was, yeah.
Probably.
Trainers, we like to compensate for this. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like I said, I've got the ticket kind of gifted to me. Haven't started it because I can't get any XP doing anything, so that'll start after tonight, all being well. Will we get Milo in a pose in the game? We're going to go down the Fortnite route. Do you think in Pokemon Go, do you think we'll get like a Milo skin?
What's that going to be? Like AR Quick Catch on Supersonic Speed Walk?
Yeah.
Gone.
It'd be more impressive than Coops.
A casual Coops skin.
Not there.
No, I would be an AR Pokestop just filming the floor. That would be my.
You'd be an invisible avatar because you wouldn't be on the game.
You'd be late.
No. Sorry, Milo, do you know how many raids I've done? Are you joking?
Yeah, there's a bang out again now, Milo.
Your one with Coops would be like almost like naked with just a bath towel around you, and you do like a little animated pose.
I'll be dressing
spinning around like
dressing gown.
Oh, we get the whole thing. You have
dressing gown.
an animated pose and the dressing gown on. That'd be quality.
It would be.
You've got a Santa's beard that you can now get in the shop, so maybe a ginger beard to go with.
Yeah,
I know,
yeah.
I've seen it. It's, you know what you're saying, Milo, it's actually really interesting because I think when you look at Reggie Gigas and then the Mr. Rhyme and then the Keldeo, when you think about it, that's like 8, 9, 10 quid. Let's just average it out. It's really not worth it, especially when you get that one chance of that one IV.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, if you are that 1 in a million to get the hundo, it's epic. But in general, I like your way of thinking. They should keep doing this for £3, £4, £5. So it is, it's not too expensive. It's not like a ridiculous amount, but you are going to cover the cost of the incubators naturally, and I'm guessing you get passes in it. Do you get
this one? You don't, but you get some other items. Which they do add up. Like the thing is, you've got to think of the pose being the entire cost of the ticket, and then the extra stuff is there.
But that's what I'm saying. I like your way on like the skins on PlayStation game, and it must be like packs on FIFA.
Yeah.
I like what you're saying, and it makes much more sense to me as putting a Pokemon as the main thing when we all know it's not going to be worth it.
Exactly.
If that makes sense.
To just sort of extend this a bit further, you know how the last season, the season of light, became the season of utterly dreadful in-game boxes.
Yes.
Yep.
I reckon this is not going to be the season of mythical wishes. It's going to be the season of in-game extra tickets, because we made the comment a little while ago. It's like, there'll be one ticket every week. They've gone one further. There's a ticket for every event.
That's true.
So there'll have 2 this week because we've got this
the community
holiday
weekend one and the holiday
the
one.
Community weekend and the holiday one. You're absolutely right. And then we'll get one for the Avalug raid day that's happening on the day before we drop our Christmas episode.
Yeah.
Which we haven't recorded yet.
Which we haven't recorded yet entirely.
Exactly.
Yes, exactly.
But actually, talking about what Milo's just said and extending it a little bit more about boxes and stuff, they have actually released new boxes, and they're actually not as bad as they've been in the past.
I said this is A/B testing, and they did 3 months of pissing every player off by giving us crap deals, and then they've come back and reevaluating it. Now you get different stuff in different boxes. At the current time for this event, there is something called the Explorer box,
Which is amazing. Seriously.
375 coins, and you get 5 super incubators and 5 normal incubators. That is a monumental saving.
Now, that is a one-time buy only. When you buy it, you can't buy another one. You only get it once. But 10 incubators for 375 coins is actually really good value.
Or you can buy 3 remote raid passes and join me in all my Cabalion raids. It's up to you.
Still need that shiny in. Still need the shiny.
I still need the shiny Cabalion. I've not had many sent to me, despite begging and pleading on Twitter this morning.
Soon I'll be able to do them with you, my friend. Soon I'll be able to do them with you.
Yes, because you need the shiny too.
Talking about raid bosses, I know this has got absolutely nothing to do with the Christmas event. It's just the event just gone. Can I just say, I got 2 hundo Terrakions. Can you believe that? Bro, how mad is my luck?
Good. I didn't get any hundos for the whole week for that Terrakion.
I have a new least favourite Pokemon, and it's Terrakion.
I did just under 150 raids though and got 2 shinies. Actually, one of them was from our Patreon member, Sue, HermesNinja. So thank you, Sue. Moving past that, sorry, look at me, flex it up, flex it up. Marky, I'm going to pass it over to you because as we're talking about ticketed events, bro, I know a week ago we did do a poll.
It's my game.
We did do a poll about the Keldeo ticketed research, and I just want to get our listeners' kind of flavour and vibe on what they kind of think of ticketed events, because like Milo said, all jokes aside, there might be another one in a week, in 2-3 weeks' time, maybe in the new year. So what do our listeners, what did they reply to us on Twitter? What does everybody think?
I mean, there is generally a fear that the shop screen is going to turn into like the old sticker screen, isn't it? We have to scroll so far to get to the bottom for all the tickets.
Endless
Just wait grid view on shop.
Yeah.
There are now 17 in-game tickets for this event.
Page 1, page 2.
I'm going to give some of the comments below because, like you said, we put a poll on. We've had nearly 500 people vote. Brilliant feedback. So Stewie16H said they didn't provide good enough rewards to warrant buying it. A couple of incubators, silver pineapples and rare candy that I could get from a raid. Fair enough.
Say it how it is.
So how is Nakeem Brown said didn't buy the ticket, didn't get it gifted, didn't give a toss. Just say how
Short,
it is,
simple,
okay?
sweet.
So Maston says $7.99 for Gala Mine Part 2. Nah, bro, I'll save the £8 for 8 times raid passes on something cool like that. Julia Glass says, I didn't buy it. It was too much money. Angus purchased it. That's her son. As he wanted it, he did get a new shiny from it. So that's okay. Nice experience there. JB, first time I didn't buy a ticket. I stopped caring what Niantic wants and will just play how I want. I'll be going to pick 2 or 3 more. Tom
Facts.
Cattle, like
That's the right
Tom.
attitude.
Yeah, I'm a collector and I really enjoy research, so all done and in my decks. Lee Puttock, well, when I get around to finishing the research, I will have. I like that, starting it, finish it off when I want.
Nice.
Barside 2, great. I like Barside 2, good guy, sends a lot of raids as well and a good friend of the show. Yes, but it's very expensive just to dex a Pokemon. David Silverman, yes, Silvergoon, I'm going to mention you because you got the hundo, Keldeo. The luck follows that guy.
Thank you very much, Marky Boy. Appreciate that. And of course, thank you to all of our listeners for replying to our tweets. And speaking of, what did that soundbite have to do with anything?
Who says it was a soundbite?
I just wanted to take this time because normally sort of at the start or the end of the show, we kind of plug our socials where you can sort of find us. And I thought as we're approaching 100, I was going to say years, 100 weeks old, I did just want to just sort of take this time to just sort of plug where we're at with Incensed Podcast. So of course we have our main Twitter, which is at Incensed Podcast. You're going to hashtag Shinies of the Week if you do want to tag us. But of course you can DM us or sort of reach out to us in any way or give us feedback or anything. And on top of that, we do our polls. You can reply to any of our tweets, give us your feedback like what we did when Marky read out earlier. On top of that, we do have an Instagram as well, which is going to be just at Incensed Podcast. Please do DM us. We do get them. We do get the notifications so that we've received them. Even if we're not following you, please do not worry. And of course, interact with our posts when we do post once every 4 years.
Every blue moon.
And on top of that, we do have an amazing Discord, an Incensed Podcast Discord, which is awesome. And to be a part of that, we're going to link that over to the Patreon. And on Patreon as well, you guessed it, it's just at Incensed Podcast. And we do have tiers starting from just $1.99 from our bronze tier all the way up to our gold tier. And all 3 of those levels are going to have different perks. And while I am talking about the Patreon, I do just want to say a massive thank you to our gold tier members, because we say this all the time and it becomes cliche and boring saying the same thing over and over and over each week. But boys, you lot will totally understand how much this does help us. And especially I know Ian and Milo as well, because you lot listening have no idea how much Milo and Ian put into this podcast. Like, it's actually insane. So this does really help them out. You guys have no idea. So to HermesNinja, TishSmith, JB, CliffordMert, DerbyRuss, Kerry and Zachary, Connolly, Dom the Ragnarok, Kimber, ML Falk 2022 and Apex 187. You lot have really no idea how much your gold tier contribution does help the podcast. So
Absolutely.
seriously, from my bottom of my heart, thank you so
thank
much.
you.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
It is
Definitely.
muchly appreciated.
And one thing which I do just want to leave this tangent on as well, because like I said, the next 2 episodes are not pre-recorded, but
Not at all.
in the new year, when we come back right now, we are on a 4.9 rating on Spotify, and that's with 198 votes. So please, 25% of our listeners are from Spotify. So please, you've got 3 weeks to please grab your mum's phone, grab your daughter's phone, grab your auntie, uncle's phone, get onto their Spotify. We just need 2 more votes to get us over 200. To see in the new year with over 200 votes on Spotify, that would be absolutely awesome. And on top of all of that, we of course have a link tree which has got all of our information. It's also got the boys' separate information for their separate content creator channels. So yeah, it's just going to be, you guessed it, at Incensed Podcast. Please guys, interact with us next year. We want to get the listeners more involved next year. We're on to bigger things next year. And just to all of our listeners, like I said, in the early quarter of next year, we're approaching 100,000 downloads. Now I know that 990,000 of those are going to be from Mark.
Hence the Spotify raps.
Yeah, I know we're just going to quickly go around now and say our thanks, but from me, this time last year, falling out of love with the game, I'm in a completely different headspace this year. And I just, like I said, 100,000 downloads in the next few months. That stuff is crazy. So from me, thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, everybody who drops us a download whenever and wherever you decide to tune in from. It's just really cool that people do actually give a toss about what we do. even though we've been doing this for nearly 100 weeks, it's become like the four of us sitting on the call, having a bit of a natter, a banter and stuff every week and catching up. And personally, as post-production kind of team, it's not a chore to edit. It's actually really fun to edit it, go from what the raw material is into a finished product that's as polished as we can possibly make it within the time before release and give you the best quality experience. So keep listening. Thank you.
Personally, I couldn't thank any of you enough. It really does mean the world to me and to all four of us. Now, in terms of the production, yes, Milo and I are kind of the sort of production team. It's a process to edit this podcast. One that Milo enjoys, one that I enjoy. We both love it. Moving into the new year, a little bit of BTS, that we actually might be talking a little bit more about the editorial process in an upcoming episode. So keep your eyes peeled. Our gold tier patrons that get to watch the live streams, they get so much behind the scenes, so much exclusive stuff, and so much stuff that we could not possibly ever broadcast. So thank you all, seriously, genuinely, I love you all. Thank you.
But before I jump in and say my bit, I get the feeling, Coops, that Ian and Milo think that me and you aren't going to show up for a recording very early in the new year, and that episode's going to be called Milo and Ian Under the Covers. You can imagine
Exposed.
Exposed. Waterfall of Whitfield.
Yeah, and guys and girls who listen to the show, we talked about how we came up with this and the inception of it, and how a horrific global event brought us together to create something that's been amazing. And the journey's been phenomenal, and from the bottom of my heart and for everyone that listens to the show, it really is. It is fun for us to record this. This isn't a chore. We do joke about it and sort of, we talk about the processes and that. And again, like you said, maybe me and Coops will edit one episode and see if we can get it released. Nope. that'll be hilarious.
Nope. Never.
And I think we've become closer as mates and friends throughout it. It's lovely that we've got something that we've put our heart and soul into. And like I say, we just want to keep it fresh. We want to keep changing. We don't want to change who we are, but we want to sort of almost keep it relevant. You've got some fun things to look forward to, certainly. We are content with content.
Absolutely.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah, let's start hashtagging that next year. That's the new hashtag.
We've always been doing that for the last 3 weeks.
Sorry.
Let's do more of it.
Yeah, let's build on that.
More hashtagging.
Sorry.
But yes, guys, we're on episode 97. We may or may not have episodes 98 and 99 already in the bag, so we ain't slowing
you won't
down.
know that at all over the next 2 weeks.
We're not slowing down. We're just getting started. Hopefully you'll stay with us for the journey. But people that are staying with us, and we are actually getting some reviews on Apple Podcasts. First one, 5-star. Title, Lovely Stuff. This is from HouseCat82 via Apple Podcasts in the Great Britain. A Pokemon Go podcast which has been described as, and I quote, lovely stuff. Not my words. The words of John Hankey. Okay, so the next review we have is from, and this handle is Nhebfugif on Apple Podcasts in Canada.
What was that?
It's probably Coops when he was over there a few weeks ago. It says,
I was going to say, it's Dax.
It says, 5 stars. Love from Canada. As an expat living in Canada, it's so fun to listen to you guys every Sunday. I love the banter and honest insights you have about the game. I'm a filthy casual, hence why I think it might be Coops, but love keeping up with the game through this podcast. And the last review we've got this week is from Lemiro from Apple Podcasts in the USA. 5-star review. Guess what? They are all cute. I love this podcast. Seriously enjoys playing Pokemon Go, but does not take it too seriously, like the quote in my title from Detective Pikachu about the silliness of top 10 cutest Pokemons. This podcast is a breath of fresh air. We all know what Wiglet looks like. We all feel dirty throwing a curveball at Jinx. What if Pokemon are from eggs? Why, Miltank, why? Anyway, hashtag Shiners this week. Got a Lunatone and almost transferred it. Because, not like shiny Lunatone, it looks like a crescent-shaped rock, but your has blue eyes because that's how science works. Still sort of spite it because the moon could be like red or an eclipse, or even like fire, looking, but no, it's that darn same. 5 stars for being a place that rants make sense.
How long have they been waiting for their shinies of the week?
Yes.
Also, speaking of Canada, happy birthday, Pokedaxi, by the way. It's
Oh,
actually
yeah,
his
I saw your
today.
tweet. Oh, friends on a boat.
I tell you what, gents, because we've been a little bit cringe, a little bit mushy, I think it's time for a little bit of... Send your WhatsApps now!
That's a different jingle.
Ridiculous.
Different tone, Coops. I like that one.
We did
Well
use
done.
the laughing version, Coops. Sorry.
It's fine. It was funny.
So,
Fine.
guys, WhatsApp messages. The one we saved from last week, we've got a WhatsApp voice message from a familiar voice. We've heard him singing, or rapping, I should say. Pen pal Simon's been on. He has a question for us, which might spark a little chat.
Hello, guys. It's your number one fanboy and probably mostly harmless for the most part stalker here, Pen pal Simon. Hey, how are you all? I've got a question for all four of you, and the question is this. You guys record together every Thursday, and the chemistry that you have together on air is phenomenal. You can clearly see the comradeship and the friendships that you've all developed over the time you've been recording and filming together. I'm interested to hear from you guys, all of you, what the podcast means to you. It can be emotionally, spiritually, however you like. What does the podcast and the relationship with your co-hosts mean to you on a personal level? Thanks, that's my question. Okay, bye.
I love Simon. He's brilliant. This is more than just us. It's friendships building. And like, just because we started the podcast and then we're like, well, we'll do this every week. You know, that's what we create off the back of it. But this is just our friendships every week, building and building and building. For me personally, I felt like from being four strangers collectively to actually be people we can actually talk to and like talk outside of the podcast. It's nice to have people that can support each other, and we do that. Is that emotionally? That might be it. They were there to support each other. Coops
I think it's
smiling. I
emotionally.
can see him hiding his smile behind him.
Little
emotionally.
support group. We're like a little support group once a week.
It's friendship. In case of Ian and I, it's romance.
Yes.
It's just blooming. No, in seriousness, like it's several things. It's a fun process to put together something, hand it out, very nice, polished kind of thing that we can be proud of as a quartet. But in terms of each of the hosts, we gel quite automatically together, whether it's beyond the recording or even in person when we meet up. And you know, over the time, got to know each other very well, and happy to call the three of them friends.
Yeah, I mean, I can't fault anything that Mark and Milo have said. I think Aristotle said the whole is greater than the sum of the parts, and that's what this podcast means to me, that each one of us creates our own content, which we generally don't talk about on this podcast too much. Coops used to. But when we come together, the show with all of our four different takes on life, our energies, it's magical. People have said that the four of us together, there's a very unique chemistry. For me, it very much is a sort of sense of the whole. The show that we create is more than just the four of us chatting. It's just something that, without sounding mushy, was meant to be. I love it. Yeah, this show I love.
Ti amo. Is that I love you or not?
Yes, Ti amo, yeah.
I'm exactly the same. It started off as a bit of banter, a bit of fun with, let's face it, four sort of strangers. And it sort of turned out, as I mentioned earlier, to nearly be on 100,000 downloads, which is a number I'm very proud of, and I know the boys are proud of as well. A lot of effort, dedication and commitment goes into producing this from all four of us, some more than others because that's their natural
Blood,
role.
sweat and tears, man. Blood, sweat and tears.
Yeah, in the podcast, and you know, our listeners as well, Patreon's listeners, the social media following that we've got. We're not big by any means at all. What we've created from literally nothing is something that I'm very, very grateful for. Here's to the next, I know we're not 100 yet, but here's to the next 100.
Absolutely.
But boys, good news!
What?
Marky boy, it's not just you that's hitting level 50 today, my guy.
Oh,
Gents, I've finally done my 999 excellent throws.
All on Terrakion.
Yeah, on Terrakion. It's been over a year since my time. I'm now about to press OK, and on the screen should be my level 50. Can we see it?
GG's, man. It's about time.
Welcome to the club.
Look at this.
At long last.
To be honest with you, I was really hoping that by the time I hit level 50, they'd give you more than 2 rare XL.
Yeah, when you finish the level 50 challenge, you'll get 10 more.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow, indeed, Milo. Yep, listen, mate, it's been a long time, guys, and I'm just super proud to now be stood in the lobby with all of you lot and all of my Pokemon friends, all of the patrons, and to be standing alongside all other level 50s.
Guys, I've got some good news.
What?
Your boy has just hit level 50.
Hey, we're a level 50 podcast.
Let's give him a round of applause.
Yeah.
Welcome to the club, Masterful
Well done,
27.
man. Anyone would think that was planned tonight for you both hitting it tonight.
Do you know what's funny? It wasn't, though. It actually genuinely wasn't.
I hear they let anybody in level 50, so I thought I'd better get in
They
quickly.
really do.
Absolutely.
Congratulations, Marky. Congratulations.
You know what that means? It means all four of us are level 50. We are a level 50 podcast now.
We're all equally level 50.
Milo did it, was it 7 years ago? And I know the game's only 6 years old. But Milo was level
before
50.
it came out.
Before it came out. Ian, you did very well. And I remember the conversation you had with us that, like you said, the challenge was to do it by the end of the year. And like I said to you,
was.
oh my goodness, I think I'm going to...
You mean you strung it
done it,
right out there? You really strung it right out there to the last show of the year, last live show of the year.
Shush, Ian.
Done.
Shush,
It's
Ian.
done.
No,
We're level
it's good
50
to have you both
podcast.
in the club.
Yes.
But, Marky, I do just want to ask something. Is there anything that you want to do to celebrate? Maybe a game? Play your dicks right.
I haven't heard that one in a while.
It's been a while.
Yeah, why not? We're going to celebrate in style, and I am going to be Mr. Game tonight because I know Coops wore it very well, that title, for the last 2 weeks, but I want to snap it off him, or snatch it off
It's like
him,
a
I should
really
say.
crap nobleman.
The worst moniker ever.
Please welcome Mr. Game.
Mr. Game. Be like a cousin of Mr. Crime, wouldn't it? You can imagine it, couldn't you? Mr. Mime, Mr. Crime, Mr. Game. So we're going to play Your Dex Right. Mr. Coops, I'm going to start with you. My starting Pokemon in the Hoenn region is Nincada, and my question to you, Casual Coops, is Shroomish higher or lower than Nincada?
Nincada is right at the bottom of the deck, so it's higher. Nincada's higher.
Higher than Shroomish, yeah? You are correct.
Oh, yes.
Nincada isn't near the bottom of it, though, Coops. It's just
Oh,
when you went down
Logic, don't turn down for
bang
his
in the
logic,
middle.
okay? His logic's wrong, but it works to get the right
Yeah.
answer.
Bless him. Well, Ian, we're going to come over to you next. Your starting Pokemon is Azurill. Is Aaron higher or lower than Azurill?
Aaron. Azurill's a baby, isn't it? God, I'm going down the Coops Road here, which means I think Azurill will be higher. No, lower. Azurill's lower than Aaron.
Correct, Ian.
Ooh, he saved it. He saved himself there.
Milo, your starting Pokemon is Nosepass.
Oh, God.
Is Skitty higher or lower than Nosepass?
That's tricky.
Yeah.
I'm going to talk myself into the wrong answer here, definitely.
Yeah, do it so you're out.
Yeah.
That's savage, Coops.
That was savage season, Coops.
sorry.
Bastard. Nosepass is lower.
Correct.
Oh.
You've all successfully navigated through Hoenn. We're going to go into Coops' favourite, Jen. And that
Kanto?
is Villanova. Check me out, Villanova. Coops, your starting Pokemon is Timber. Is Timepole higher or lower than Timber?
Again, a bit like earlier, I feel like Timber's at the end, so I'm going to say that Timber is higher than Timepole. Milo's laughing. I've got that wrong, haven't I?
Don't. No idea.
Timber is, in fact, lower.
No. I said Timepole is.
Oh, yeah.
Did you get it right or wrong?
No, I got it wrong.
The soundboard has decided.
Ian, we're going to start with Sigalith.
Oh, no. I haven't even got that in my decks because I can't even imagine where it would sit.
Oh no, you're going to be out.
It is
then.
in Pokemon Go.
We're going to all get this wrong.
That's true. It is in Go.
Ian, is Maractus higher or lower than Sigalith?
Lower.
Is Maractus higher or lower than Sigalith? It is lower, Ian. You are right.
Come on, Milo.
I'm going to get this wrong.
That is as close to chasing the Tower Revenge you can get in another game. Ones that might not be in your Pokedex. Right, so Milo. Are you ready for it, Milo?
No.
Ducklet
Oh, God.
is your starting point.
That's my favourite game. What's the Ducklet?
What was that jingle?
Oh, God. It's so
Coops'
bad.
favourite game.
I want to know, is Vanillite higher or lower than Ducklet?
Oh, that's tricky.
That's awkward.
I'll go Vanillite is higher.
It's the correct answer.
Yes.
So there were 3 of you who got through Hoenn. Unfortunately, 1 of you couldn't get quite through Unova, so 2 of you carry on into the next. We're going to go into the Kalos region. Ian, your starting Pokemon is Floette. I want to know.
His face. He's like, what on earth is that?
What the hell?
Is my favourite shiny Pokemon Furfrou higher or lower than Floette?
I haven't got a clue. I'm just going to go higher.
Which is the correct answer.
He's fluking it.
Right, Milo. We're going to start with Clawitzer, and I want to know, is Helioptile higher or lower than Clawitzer?
I'm going to say Helioptile is higher.
It is higher, Milo.
Yes. I nearly stumbled.
It is higher.
I didn't Ian and he went...
It might be higher, but it's not Helioptile. It's helicopter.
Helicopter. We're going to leave Kalos and we're going to carry on going forward into...
Unknown?
Is Melmetal higher or lower than Meltan?
I was looking at it. We're going to go into Alola.
Mark's favourite region.
It is. So, Ian, we're going to start with Comfy. You threw that at me once on Chase the Tail.
Yes.
Still remember that, mate?
Yeah. Payback's a bitch.
Yeah. Is Vikavolt higher or lower than Comfy?
Lower.
It is lower, Ian. Well done.
Wow.
I don't know how I'm doing it. These are pure guesses. I have no idea with these higher gens.
Milo's favourite Pokemon from Alola, which is Cosmog. You still got it?
Love it.
Is Austrian Cosmog?
German.
Was it
Thank
German?
you.
Okay.
You should know. You and Coops don't stop talking about Germany in a week's time.
In the future, maybe.
In the future. It's everyone's favourite Pokemon, the Todger. Todger. I want to know it. I want to know. Is Cosmog higher or lower than the Todger?
The Todger hangs lower than Cosmog.
He's got it right again.
Swing low.
Round 600.
We have to keep going forward.
Coops' wish of a short show is not going to happen today, is it?
Then we're going to start with Mr. Crime. Is Surfetched higher or lower than Mr. Crime?
Oh, based on the pattern that I've been going so far, I'm going to go higher just in case the pattern follows.
Well, the pattern hasn't followed in. You are wrong.
Oh.
So Milo, and I'll give you a description of it first. 5 of them are troopers. What is the prat?
We're
Maybe talking about that in the future.
So we're starting with Phalanx, Milo. Is Berserker higher or lower than Phalanx?
I'm going to say Phalanx is lower.
It's not.
Oh, for God's sake.
He's got a lifeline.
For God's sake.
Round 807.
I mean, the other option is we take the joint dub, Ian.
Yeah.
Well done, sir.
Well done, it's Christmas. We both win.
Do Kanto region, final round.
Ian, we're going to start with Vulpix. Is Diglett higher or lower than Vulpix?
My mind's blanked.
Hasn't stopped you before.
Lower.
Diglett is higher. Final one. Here we go. Milo, your starting point is Growlithe.
Mm-hmm.
Growlithe, is it Growlithe? Mankey higher or lower than Growlithe?
Oh, God.
Mark, it was supposed to be an easy one.
I'm going to say that Mankey's higher.
It's lower, but you both win.
Right, we're both taking a win on this.
Okay, let's take a joint win.
I can't.
Wait. There we go.
Ian, you're gonna have to take this from me, bro. I can't.
So, okay, Coops. Guys, last week we had round 3 of Elite Raids. Now, I don't particularly want to take a lot of time to dive into this because I really don't think that we need a lot of time, but let's have a quick 5 minutes. Elite Raids, Hooper for the 3rd time.
We could almost copy-paste what we did for round 2 a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah,
and just
because it was
insert it into
pretty
the
much
show.
the same. Like, why?
Copy-paste.
I'll just jump in and say, obviously, I saw this online, and the same as Milo just said, oh God, I thought the exact same thing for everyone that was interested in it. I'm not going to play it unless it's something incredible. Frustrated, disappointed when it was announced, or I think I actually even read out out my tweet reply to Niantic and said, really, like, this isn't going to get people out, and here they are for the third time still trying. So I didn't play. I'm not going to play. If it's Hooper again next time, I still won't play. And that's kind of my opinion on that.
Well, I'm kind of hoping that they run them with like a quarterly rotation.
Hooping or hoping?
Hooping. But think about it, this is 3 weeks. It's over the last 3 months, so hopefully we might get something new next month, but I'm really not holding my breath.
Don't think any of us are.
No, they started off as a really good idea, something new, something novel, but where I was, nobody turned up for these Elite Raids this third time round.
Do you know what? On that note, I saw a brilliant picture. Chaz Brown, I've got to shout out one of our Patreon squad. He took an amazing picture and replied to Pokemon Go saying, "This is all of the people who turned up. It's just a selfie of himself."
Yes, I
it's
saw that.
exactly the same. It's so class. It's so true.
Did he actually?
It's so accurate. Ian got nobody out. Coops didn't bother turning up. I will say, in my squad, the 11 o'clock ones I didn't do. I was hungover. 2 p.m. we had a double, which we had about 10 people turn up to do.
Well, that's a fairly good turnout, actually, to be fair.
It is, but we are like a raid community in Ealing, really. And it probably helped that we had 2 back-to-back next to each other within, like, you know, you could do them from the same point. The only thing I would say, and this is my personal experience I saw on social media, that not everybody saw the rare spawns again. This was the first time and this is the 9th Elite Raid that I've done.
Yeah, there's 3 on each of the 3 occasions, yeah.
This is the first time I've seen a Kanto bird after the 2 p.m. raids. So I finally saw the Zapdos.
Congratulations.
But just like they say, you have to literally be insanely lucky, luckier than winning the lottery, to catch this Kanto bird. I said it to somebody, I was like, who gives a toss?
That is true. We've all got like an abundance of them in our dexes.
They're going to be in raids in within the next year. I'm pretty sure.
I've only literally run my daily incense, I think, 4 times, and I've seen one and I didn't manage to catch it.
Galarian, they're not Kanto.
The Galarian birds.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, the casual strikes again.
Casual strikes again.
It's exactly the same philosophy.
In my defence, I'm a proven
filthy casual
experiment that you can hit level 50 and still be as casual as me. I am a walking. Oh my god!
Casual.
Sorry, Milo. What are we saying? Kanto birds.
Honestly, like, remember we said, like, oh, you were lucky if you see, I think, Articuno after 11, Zapdos after 2, and then Moltres after 5. And we finally saw a Zapdos. One person out of the group of 10 or 15 managed to actually catch it, but mine was Golden Raz Ultra Ball, didn't even roll solid off. And the other rare spawns, we saw a handful of Wooloo and a handful of Snorlax.
Could have been shiny, I guess.
Good for greatly.
Yeah.
Oh, wonderful. I will remember that next time. But Sue in the live stream chat has said local crews saw no rare spawns at all, so there you go, that's the polar opposite. The 5 p.m. raid, funnily enough, okay, they shifted the meta, sort of. They did the Elite Raids on a Saturday on their own, isolated, rather than after a community day
Well, they
on
can't
Sunday.
really, because it would be Monday if they did that this year.
Exactly, it would be bonkers. Funnily enough, this Saturday coincided with, there was some sort of sporting event going on, wasn't there?
Oh, there was a few people kicking a ball about, wasn't they?
Kicking a sheep's pancreas around
Yeah,
or something, weren't
yeah.
they? Yeah, I think it was. Was it this country?
Pancreas.
Yeah,
this country versus.
I think the French beat them, didn't they?
In essence, other people had other things to do. So the 5 p.m. raid.
I mean, are you not English? Are you Northern? What's
This is Northern. Is that a
Yeah, you
question?
should be supporting England anyway. You're Scottish.
No, exactly, Ian. That's more reason why you should be.
I've got better things to do with my time. I've not got that many minutes left in my life.
Hooper raids. The point is, at this Hooper raid at 5 p.m, only 4 of us turned up, and it happened to be 4 people who were walking around doing the Keldeo event together. And Hooper Unbound is a tier 6 raid. We failed the first time round, and we had to rope somebody in who was walking by on their way to the pub. Say,
Did you actually?
Yeah, so it's like, because it was someone of our local crew was walking past going through the park, and it's like, can you do this raid with us? And they weren't going to do it because Hooper Unbound was actually difficult to do. We'd already used our passes, so you don't want to burn it. But it's that thing of, like, literally nobody came out to the 5 p.m. raid at all. And I think if they do exactly the same format, it's going to be even deader and people won't do it. Even though Hooper Unbound is actually quite a good raid attacker, I just think they need to shift it up in some way.
If they
You can't
drop the
keep doing
shiny
same
for it, then
thing.
people would go out and raid for it. It's simple.
I thought the same thing, but Shiny Hooper doesn't exist.
It could do. They only have to design
No, as in, like, TPC haven't done it yet. Something like that. It doesn't exist in the main series
Shiny
games.
cast form variants didn't exist
Or
on
Niantic.
TPC.
Buck your ideas up.
I'll bookend it with Coops. 3 and 0 for me, or three rounds of it and none I've done. Doesn't really interest me in any way whatsoever. I didn't even know there were different time slots. You could waste a whole day, I guess. If you're struggling to do it in Ealing, I'll be struggling even more to do it on my own in a village setting.
So I'll tell you what then, boys, to quickly wrap this up, what I'm going to do, Ian, you're going to go first, then Milo, then Marky Boy. Just quickly, what do you think the next raid boss will be in Elite Raids?
Victini, maybe.
I'm going to say it's still going to be Hooper.
Oh, well, I would have gone that. He said next one. I thought you meant new
The
one.
next mon, whether Hooper's around for the next 84 years, what will it be on the 85th year?
Zarude.
And I'm going to be very controversial. I think it'll be Keldeo.
Just to rub it in everyone's face.
Okay, by the way, my one's Zarude as well. Do you lot think that this Elite Raid feature will still be around at the end of 2023?
Yes, I do.
Yes.
Yes, I do, because the spawns around it are the only thing that aren't fully working at the moment. I think they'll nail that.
And I don't think they will be, but something which I do think there will be is more news.
Is the news.
And this time it's actually current.
Literally, it dropped 2
Unbelievably.
minutes ago.
On the recording. So we have to cover it because it's been in the APKs, it's been in the game code for ages. It's been hinted at with a new sticker that we saw pushed because Scatterbug, Spupa, I think it is, and Vivillon have been discovered in Pokemon Go. And this is a very lengthy article. Vivillon appears in Pokemon Go, Scatterbug, and all of that jazz. Trainers have the chance to encounter Scatterbug. It's a lot of waffle. Trainers have the chance to encounter Scatterbug when they collect and pin postcards received from different regions. Start collecting by pinning postcards to unlock the Vivillon Collector Medal. So there's a brand new medal.
Milo, are you saying Vivillon, bro? Just read
That's how you
Vivillon.
pronounce it,
Vivillon.
That's how they
yeah.
literally put
it's
the
put phonetically
pronunciation
next
in
to
the
it, yeah.
article. For the
Oh, is
first
it?
time
Where?
ever. Yeah, right at the very top. They've actually
Oh
Vivillon.
my god!
Vivillon.
No, I sorry, I always skip past that part. Yeah.
So, Scatterbug, Spupa, which looks repulsive, and Vivillon, which looks very beautiful. It's a bug type family. Oh my god, there are lots of patterns. Some of these have very funky names. So, Archipelago, Continental, Elegant Garden, High Plains, Icy Snow, Jungle, Marine, Meadow, Modern, Monsoon, Ocean, Polar River, Sandstorm, Savannah, Sun, Tundra. All in different parts of the world.
Rural? Is that in
Rural, I think we'll put that in Meadow.
Yeah, 'cause a lot of people actually back in the day predicted this could have been a regional because there are so
in
many
some
different
ways
forms.
is.
Yes.
They've made it regional because accompanying the article is a massive map
Yes.
where they've detailed where various different versions of these
Oh,
things go.
wow.
So you're going to need to get, for example, we're going to pick something very random. To get a river form Vivillon, you need to get a postcard from South Australia. In the UK, we've got Garden.
Yeah, we're garden, aren't
Yes,
we?
quite appropriate.
Same as Chibati Island.
Chibati Island. To help trainers keep track of their Vivillon pattern collection, we're adding a new medal. When a trainer pins a postcard, they will unlock this new medal and see a short explanation of how to encounter Scatterbug. Trainers will also be able to collect sub-medals within the Vivillon Collector medal by pinning postcards. Trainers can pin both their own postcards and postcards they receive from friends. These sub-medals are associated with different Vivillon patterns, different Vivillon pattern regions. Collect different sub-medals to encounter Scatterbug from around the world. So it's a bit mad. What was also going alongside this, and I saw it somewhere, there apparently is going to be a purchasable add-on to buy more postcard space.
Let's just look at it. When we were at the Ultra Beast arrival, you were having to clear postcard space.
I was 300 postcards because people from around the world have some funky Pokestops started around with all kinds of crazy stuff on them, which are fun. What I'm hoping is that you can pin, get the Scatterbug, get the thing for the medal, and then unpin if you need to. So you don't have to have it retained there forever.
I don't want to be this guy. Is it exciting? Really?
From your face.
No, but
Just
is
think when
it
they drop
though?
the shiny and you've got to get all the different variations of the shiny.
Oh.
Yeah, I'll just wait for the Go Fest of that specific gen.
It's good in some ways because it's utilising the postcard feature and regional Pokemon in a new way, which is great. It's cool. What I
Yes.
actually despise is that, like me, a lot of us have postcards from quite significant places and significant people built up over the last however long the postcard feature has been alive, and now they drop this feature. I might have to get some postcard space.
Well, if you could buy it with Poke Coins, it's not going to be too bad, is it?
Yeah. I was going to say at the end of the day, no offense, like it's a bit like Pokemon
It is,
storage,
it's like
and
item storage,
I
Pokemon
suppose
storage,
it is
yeah.
like that.
Yeah, is it annoying because you feel like you're paying for a bloody... Yes, it's annoying, but at the same time, they've just added in a feature feature in a way that they can earn a lot of money from, and they will. They absolutely will, because there'll be loads of, I'd say millions of people like you, Milo, that have got all these cool postcards from Go Fests and Safari Zones from all friends, all YouTubers all around the world.
I'm not unpinning Diddly Squat Farm sign.
Absolutely not.
What is mad, though, you've got a main medal, the Vivillon Collection medal, and then underneath that you've got a map of the globe, and then you've got each regional variant, and if you tap them...
And you can see progress bars on each one underneath it.
They're each their own individual thing, so you've got to work up getting postcards from each individual region where they're all available multiple times, if you care about collecting medals, which not everybody does.
Once you pin the postcard, you can unpin them, and it keeps the progress.
Good.
There you go.
So that answers the whole potential risk of having to add storage to your postcards. So that's good. I'm going to be very open. I like collecting things, and I think this is quite a fun little addition. It's inoffensive, it's new, brings these Pokemon into the game. I think there's so many of them. It's got a bit of shelf life to it, hasn't it? And it's a good way of having global friends, isn't it? That's what this is, giving you a reason to have friends. You might not be able to remote trade with them if you become lucky.
True.
By interacting through your friends lists from around the world, this gives you a reason to have that.
Do we think that at some point in the future they're going to have to increase your friend storage? Granted, it's at 400, which isn't an insignificant number, but are people going to need more friend space? Because the world's a big place and there's a lot of regions, so potentially you might need to make friends in Canada
18
or
different
South
versions
America,
of this
or
thing, apparently.
all of these places.
Potentially, I wouldn't say an increase of the friends list isn't a possibility. So how have you got your scatterbug, Mark?
Because all you need to pin so many, it will then force an encounter with the Pokemon. So if you
Gotcha.
pin your 3 from the UK, for example,
Yeah, and it has a catch with a little question mark symbol on it. So you tap it from your map,
and then it will trigger the encounter.
and it brings it up. And obviously, there we go.
There you go, register to Dex.
Yeah, it triggers the encounter. But I mean, that's crazy. It's just been, and you can evolve it with the canvas, and it tells you the form that it'll be evolved to.
Thinking about this from outside the box, this is going to force people to actually open gifts. So people that are really bad at opening your gifts are more
I'm
likely to
stuffed then.
start. Exactly. You're screwed, Whitfield.
I don't know. Okay, I think this is actually quite an intelligent move, because we've been saying for donkey's years, like, remote raids are probably here to stay. We've built up these global communities over the pandemic of Discord servers and all of that kind of jazz. This is kind of the first thing that we've seen since remote raiding that's really catering to global international friends, because we don't have remote lucky trades, and elite raids, we just talked about that, is forcing people to go together and raid in person. This is kind of the first feature that makes you interact internationally with people, so I think that's quite a clever ploy.
I've just looked
Pokédex.
and I've pinned 10 postcards, so I'm ready to go.
Okay, so while we're covering a few bits of news, there's a few sort of quality of life updates that have been released recently. In your item storage, you can actually switch to a grid view, which makes it so much easier to navigate through your item storage. And all of the items have now been reorganized into groups.
It's following very much the same line as the sticker update, and we all kind of joked about the sticker update XYZ, but you can actually I can find that Trico sticker very quickly nowadays, whereas now if you switch to grid view on the items, you can just get to whatever item you're incensed, rather than scrolling through what feels like a small novel.
Exactly, it's literally like one swipe and you've gone from top to bottom.
I think it's still being rolled out in some ways, potentially. And a few other little additions. Pokemon storage and item storage have been upped by 50 each, just ahead of the Comday weekend. Wonderful.
Yeah, I mean, I wish they'd given a little bit more Pokemon storage, but you know what? 50 is better than nothing.
Can't believe it, boys. We never really get news live on the spot. Hey, do we? I'm shocked at that. That never, ever happens. But Mark, I know I did say to you earlier, mate, there was something dangling above your head. It's now in front of your face. Is that Mark's pole?
It's always dangling in front of my face. I've noticed that just
The
recently.
thing is, it's your pole, so if it's dangling in front of your face, that's worrying.
Exactly.
It's Milo's then.
It's mine. He's clutching up poles, isn't he? Bless him. Oh, dear God. So, yeah, it was a great question. No, it wasn't from Coops, was it? He outsourced it again, didn't he? But it was a great question. So the question was, which of these is your favourite dog breed? The only person that did respond was Thomas. Thank you, Thomas. And Thomas says, I have a friend who has a retriever, and he's always excited to see me and my dog. Mine is a Staffy. Nice dog, Staffies, actually.
Nice.
Our 4 options were there. So we're going to start at the back, unfortunately, and I was at the back
Right.
end, and with flat coat retriever, unfortunately, boys. 16%
Better than my
of people.
2% last week.
In third place with 19% is the Jack Russell Terrier.
Take the podium.
Take the podium, like Crufts.
Yeah.
It's like Crufts.
Oh, does
isn't
that
it?
mean you need
Yeah,
to
little-
inspect his ass?
Oh,
That's your job here.
that's your job, Ian. So 22%
This is
was
me,
suggest
innit?
it was a landslide.
This is
was
me,
the
innit?
ginger boxer.
Did you write ginger boxer?
Did you write ginger?
No, I didn't.
No, okay,
The winner
okay.
with 44% of the vote was the Siberian Husky. Well done, Ian, for picking the most attractive looking dog.
Ian's
Probably out
won
of
a
this
poll.
everyone
What a
wanted to
poll.
pick.
Wonders we'll never cease.
Ian won a game jointly, won a poll. Ian's on cloud 9 tonight.
It's a Christmas miracle.
He's won a game, he's won a poll, but has anybody tagged him in a shiny?
Shinies of the week.
Right, I've got one here. The Twitter handle is @CoopsTheCasual.
Oh no, that guy sounds like a knob.
Some ginger knob, we don't know.
You do realise for 97 weeks we've been expecting him to do this.
He's written in, finally, after giving her so many shiny legendaries, @HermesNinja returned the favour with shiny number 2. #Shinies of the week with a laughing, crying face and a little strong arm emoji thing. And it's a shiny Terrakion. Well done, mate. You did say you were going to get a Shinies of the week in before the year's out.
I think he said before episode 100, didn't he?
I'll go next in the trilogy of Casual Coop Shiny of the Week mentions. Kerry Young at Dinkin Bop's Mama's Gone. Thank you, @Coops the Casual. Finally got the shiny at raid number 59. 96% too.
Oh, nice.
Thanks for the podcast. #Shinies of the Week. And that was a shiny Terrakion. So that's the second Coops mention on Shinies
Well,
of the
there's
Week.
not going to be any more because mine is from Keith, Evasion 1982. This is from the Incensed Campfire. Yes, I'm going to plug that some more.
Nice.
On my way to a 90s R&B festival in Bournemouth with the wife and smashed Sierra's back doors in to get this little beauty. And it's a shiny Shadow Sableye. Well done, Keith. GG's.
Oh, well done.
Well done, Keith. That's how you smash it. That's how you do
I
it.
can't sit here and not finish it off. So I've got one here from Lachlan Firth. He says, thanks @Coops the Casual. Thanks @Coops the Casual for the raid invite. I guess this is a good #Shinies of the Week contender. Doesn't it just look amazing with the Xmas night background? You should come onto the Waste Bottles podcast just like your other three. Listen. Leave me alone. I'm not coming on the podcast. Leave me alone. Oh, no, I'm just joking. And he did get a shiny Terrakion, which is pretty cool. So GG's, my friend.
Coops is giving them out, isn't he? The ginger Terrakion. That's a shiny, isn't it? It's got that sort of tint to
He can't
it.
be giving them out anymore. They've gone.
He's giving
It's
them out.
Cabalion now.
Oh, we need them, Ian. Oh,
Ginger Cabalion.
But boys, who's the singer that says this? Is it Adele? It is the end. The James Bond.
Skyfall.
tribute.
Yeah, Skyfall.
As Adele would say in Skyfall, it is the end of the show. Oh, no one wants to make a sad sound effect. No.
Eggy fart.
Oh, violation. But anyway, have the most amazing week and we'll see you on Christmas Day for another episode of Incensed Podcast. Good luck with the December wrap-up community day weekend thingy, or should I just say good luck with the day too? And on that bombshell, get your tinsel ready for next week, boys. It's Christmas time.
Let's go on the eggnog.
I choose you!